Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, the show where we discuss the latest cryptocurrency news and introduce you to the pioneers and the founders of the space. Today, I'd like to welcome Jeff from Amplifi, a good friend of mine. We've been in contact for a while now, Jeff, but the first time that you've come onto the CSE scene, and we're going to go through your project today and get to know you a little bit better about how are you doing? How are you feeling with all the Trump mania, everything going on in the new year?
Good. Yeah, everything's good. I think...
it's loading screen.
Yeah.
Should be okay now.
Can you hear me?
Let me, just a technical issue, guys. Let me just remove Jeff from here and then I'll add him back to the stage. Hopefully it will get sorted. If not, we'll go through with the normal show today. Let me just add Jeff back. Hopefully it loads and hopefully we can speak to Jeff from Amplifi, guys, because really want to introduce you to the app today. Jeff, are we back? It's still a frozen screen. Jeff, perhaps reload it. I'll go through the markets and then we'll introduce you when everything's all back to normal. But guys, let me go through the comments today. Let's see who's here. We've got Ahmed from Twitter. Good to see you, my man. Steve was 20 minutes early into the chat today. Steve, love to see it. Steve's an OG member in the CSE Plus Discord. If you guys are there, you know who Steve is. We've also got Avo Loco here saying, show us them fat, dirty 20x AI plays. Exactly. When Jeff comes back on screen, we've got some good news, some good alpha for you guys as well. I can see Jeff's back here. Let me add him to the stage. Jeff, how are we doing?
Good. Any news? Is it all clear?
A little bit clear, a little bit shaky right now. Perhaps it might be a VPN or something like that.
Let me
try speak now. Apologies for the technical issues, guys. Well, I'll let Jeff sort this. It could be an internet issue on his end. I'll just remove him from there. We'll have a quick look. Don't worry, guys. We can go through the show anyway, and then when Jeff's ready, let me see if this is working now. Okay, I think the screen's okay. Can you talk for us, Jeff?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, we can hear you. It may just be a bit laggy on screen, but not to worry. But yeah, how are you doing? How are you finding the new year and all the Trump mania and Bitcoin hitting all-time high?
Yeah, I mean, very good, right? I think if you're into crypto, which I think everyone here is, he's the candidate you wanted. I don't think any other candidate would have made the market sort of move the way it has. I think it's we saw a lot of sell pressure. We thought perhaps it might be a sell the news event with the inauguration. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah. Ultimately, support held up really well there. A lot of buying pressure around 100K, and and now we're well above that 102 area, and I think we're going to all-time highs, and we're going to start entering all season soon as well. So, feeling very good.
Nice. Yeah, I think like you mentioned, to be honest, and you can go back to my streams. I was saying it. I was expecting perhaps a higher rally than we had in the lead up to the inauguration, and then perhaps a sell-off, but with what's gone on and Trump, addressing cryptocurrency even before the inauguration is really played into it and hopefully is set up for the rest of the cycle. Let me know what you guys have been trading in the chat as well. I'll just go through some of the people in the chat. We'll give a shout out. We've got Sammy T Crypto saying, LFG CSE, good to see you. Also giving love to the bull pit there. We've got Abo saying coins on roids. That's what we all want. We've got Hugo here saying GM, good to see you, Hugo. Also another CSE Plus OG. If you want to join the Discord, guys, the link is in the description below. And we've also got Bruce coming all the way from Australia. Love to see you. And Hugo saying, have missed some streams lately, but still love the intro sound. Yeah, it's like a COD waiting lobby. It's good fun. Let's just go through. We've also got Web3 Tomo here. If you don't know Web3 Tomo, get to know OG in the space. We've got Gannicus here saying GM. And brilliant, guys. Let me know what you are trading. Let me know what you want us to go through today in the call. We're going to go through general market update, have a look at the news, have a look at the newsletter, and then we're going to talk all about Amplifi. Jeff, let's have a quick look at the markets. Anything that has shocked you recently?
Yeah, gainers, FTX, top gainer. I think that's outrageous.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this. Yeah. You often see this come into prospect. I don't know quite what they're speculating on, but a lot of people are speculating. Is it a token you're staying clear from, Jeff?
I mean, yes. I think there's talks about there being a buy over by a sort of institution, FTX 2.0. I saw recently a few weeks ago that Enron is back as well with a token, perhaps. I mean, that's just, typical of crypto. Enron, one of the biggest company failings in the sort of 2000s, and they're back again. So it's just, it's wild.
Absolutely wild. But I've got to say, I'm glad Solana's doing well. We had some amazing heights, almost up to $300, now at $250. You're a big fan of Solana yourself. You actually, you attend the Super Team meetups up in Manchester. How has the Solana community and the ecosystem been to you?
Yeah, I mean, so I was working with a DeFi protocol back in 22 when Solana was in the depths of it, like really bad. Everyone outside was saying it's going to die. It's not surviving this. FTX had a huge amount of holdings. It went down to like $8 a coin, which is mad thinking about it now. But I went to Breakpoint in 2022, which is the Solana conference. Yeah. And just the amount of people who were building really cool things. And I looked around and I was like, under the surface, this project is doing a lot of things. And since then, they've really done everything so right across the board. And I think Ethereum is obviously, an OG. It definitely has, like what people say, the security element of it. It's got like the infrastructure to build, like, a lot of different L2s and a lot of different projects on it. But I think Solana is very agile, and they're very, quick to try different things and capture some of that market share. And they've done a phenomenal job. So yeah, I've nothing bad to say about Solana.
Amazing. And you go to the Friday meetups in Manchester. So if there's anyone listening and you want to get more involved in the Solana ecosystem, they have meetups every Friday in Manchester, in London. And guys, if you're wanting to be pointed in the right direction, message me in the Discord and I can tell you all the information on how you can network with people like Jeff, people like myself, and plenty more developers and builders in the Solana ecosystem. I would highly recommend it. As they say, your network is your net worth, guys. So go check it out. We've got Wizard of Vault. I know he also attends. So if you want to see Wizard of Vault in person without his wizard gown on, head to Manchester, guys. Because we've got a big community in the UK, and a lot of the CSE Discord members go to these events as well. So always good to network. Wiz is saying you can meet a wild Web3 Tomo as well, guys. It's the place to be. But let's get into it. Before we talk about Amplifi, I also want to cover some news. But Jeff, before we go any further, I want to ask a bit more about your background and your experience, what you were up to before Web3, and ultimately, your journey into Web3. How does that look?
Yeah, so I mean, I won't take you way back because I'll be talking for a while, but sort of around 2017, I was involved in crypto markets. So I've been around, this is my third cycle as an investor, primarily. In 2018, I worked with a company called AdRoll, which is like a programmatic display advertising company, leveraging deep data insights to build long-term growth strategies. And my clients actually included the likes of Nexo, Celsius before they, went tits up. A Whitebit exchange, Cryptomat, which is like the Coinbase for Eastern Europe, and a whole host of other projects. And so I really got back into it then, working, building long-term growth strategies, building user acquisition channels. And then in late 20, early 21, obviously the market was coming back around again. I'd invested in a number of projects. And at that time, obviously coming from my background, which really looks at a lot of deep data insights into deciding what way to basically, optimize marketing campaigns, where to target, etc. I realized that in crypto, nobody was doing anything. Like they were just spending $100,000 on KOLs. Most of them bought it. You didn't know what worked and what didn't work. Throw shit at the wall, hope some of it sticks. I just thought that was absolute madness. So started consulting, basically building out those flows, trying to help people track their marketing a bit better. And then that caught the attention of a few different projects. Worked for a GameFi project towards the end of 21, full-time as the head of growth. Then moved into a DeFi company called Streamflow, which is token investment and payment streaming on Solana. So that's how I got access to the Solana ecosystem. Worked there for the best part of a year as the head of growth as well. Then I was sort of approached by a layer 1 blockchain called Haven 1. And again, sort of head of marketing there. And then ultimately moved into Amplifi at the start of 24, full-time, to help build that out. And now we're coming to basically the end of, the launch essentially. So that's coming to fruition. So
brilliant. Yeah, great, Law. And like you say, you've been through 3 cycles now. You've got some good experience, like some great experience. Definitely is key for a founder in today's space. It says a lot about founders that, perhaps have only witnessed one cycle. So I know for me, my trust is with the founders that have been through the wars. They've seen what happens. They've seen what works, worked with, big corporations as well, big companies, really fills me with confidence for Amplifi there as well. But guys, before we head over to Amplifi, make sure to like and subscribe, share this out, and then we're going to drop some alpha regarding Amplifi as well. But I'm going to head over to the newsletter today, which actually went out yesterday, Tuesday. So if you're not already subscribed to our free newsletter, it goes out every Tuesday at 11 a.m. UTC. You can go over to the Crypto Saving Expert website and sign up completely free, guys, and you can't miss it. So here, guys, if you're not already using BLOFIN, my favorite exchange, no KYC, 25k withdrawal limits a day. So unless you're absolutely printing, you're going to have no issues there. And if you've already used the likes of Bybit, very similar, guys. I like BLOFIN. I've been trading on it before we were working with them back in the summer. So highly recommend there. But let's go down to some analysis here. So the Trump crypto era begins. President Trump has officially taken office again as he became the 47th president of the United States on Monday, with much anticipation regarding his decision on the future of the cryptocurrency sector. So look, we can see here from Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high on Monday as the price soared in the hours before President Trump's inauguration began. The price peaked at $109,699, but then came down to test demand again at the vital support and resistance zone, where the price bounced after the market tanked. And we can actually see from this chart, big shout out to Dave from Stonksy, who writes the newsletter for us at Crypto Saving Expert. You can see here his prediction was right, actually. Possible run up. We're at the kind of 105 level now, I believe. Let me just check up on that, where we are exactly. Yes, 105, pretty much bang on. So as you can see, it's kind of playing out as Dave expected. However, we do have some, further support lines a little bit further down that may come into action, but perhaps the market's going to, run away. If we can get up to that 110 region, it does open the potential for new all-time highs and new price discovery. Which way are you leaning right now, Jeff?
I'm leaning upwards. Yeah, I think we'll see. I think we'll see up from here. I wasn't too sure. I thought when we retested 90 and came back up, I thought we would retest 90 and perhaps even go lower. Again, I thought it'd be sell the news event, but it's held up extremely well, and I'd like to see it go a bit higher and then ultimately come back down and consolidate for a bit longer to extend the run of this cycle.
Brilliant. And we can see here we've got some analysis on Trump there. This took me by surprise. I've got to admit, I saw it at 3 billion. I tried doing a few transactions and they kept failing due to slippage, which is, beyond me, because normally a $3 billion market cap, slippage is not normally an issue, but the amount of volume that was coming in, my transactions were just failing. And then I had that gut feeling. I went, okay, if my transactions have failed twice, maybe this is a sign from God not to invest. But boy, was I wrong. I think we had an all-time high around 70 billion. Jeff, you were in the EU, so perhaps you woke up a little bit late to this. I being 8 hours ahead of UTC time, I actually saw it when it pretty much came out, and there's a lot of people at the event I'm at talking about it and mentioning it. Some people even saw it lower than a $1 billion valuation here. Where did you first see Trump? When did it come onto your radar?
Yeah, in the morning. So it was already at like 4 or 5 billion basically. So by that stage, it was too late. Literally, just as I went to bed, it launched, and I just wasn't online. But I am in a group with a guy who got in the first sort of 500, first 1,000 buyers. So he was actually on Deck Screener. He saw it pop up on Deck Screener, aped 500 USDC into it, like pretty much initially. He said within an hour it was worth 220 grand or something like that. So he was one of the first. In the first minute, he basically got into it and sold it because the liquidity wasn't locked. There was a whole host of other things he didn't know was the hack, but it would have been worth millions if he had held it. But listen, you can't argue with turning 500 quid into 200 and odd thousand.
Exactly. In most areas around the world, that can buy you a property, or it can buy you 2 Bitcoin. I know what I'd rather have.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then we've got to mention as well, let me pull down to here, Melania. If I'm mispronouncing that name, I'm sorry to the to Trump and the family there, but this was unexpected for me. And when I saw it, I went, really? People are investing in the president's wife here. This can only go, not even for me. I was gobsmacked by this, and that Martini guy, he made very good money on it. He's playing it, and I believe now he's actually shorting it. Let me just check up on the price of Melania now. But did you actually did you speculate on Melania? Did you have a play there?
No, I think that's sort of more of a cash grab. If you see Trump did phenomenally well, let's spin up another one and go again. You know what I mean? So I didn't. I stayed away from it.
So we've got a market cap of 600 million and a fully diluted of 4 billion there. Let's have a look. Just at the only need the 7 day. Prices come right down, but it looks pretty stable at $4 right now. Let me know in the chat if you're actually speculating on Melania. But for me, I'm tempted to put a short on. I'll head over to Oxfund to place my shorts there. But it does look like it's holding decent support at 4 billion. But yeah, it's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
Let me just go back over to the newsletter here as well. We've got some important dates coming up. So we've got the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI on Friday, as well as the global services there as well. And these were some of the top gainers from yesterday as well over the week. You can see there SPX 6900 doing well. Solana obviously doing well, as we can see, and then some losers here. We've seen a lot of liquidity go from other meme coins like Pengu, Pepe, Dog with Hat, and they're going into Trump. I imagine this will kind of recycle back round hopefully soon, especially the way the market's going. But do you think has Trump had a negative impact on the rest of the market, the Trump coin? Have people been siphoning liquidity from elsewhere, and will that return, Jeff?
Yeah, 100%. When Trump was rallying, everything was going down. Liquidity was sucked out of everything. Everything was pumping going down except for Trump, really. And Bitcoin was holding pretty solid, probably because of the back of that meme coin. So I think it's had a dual effect. It's had a negative effect on alts, but I think it's had a positive effect on crypto in general, because eventually it's going to, come back out of Trump and start to reallocate into other tokens again, which we're starting to see. So,
yeah. And we can see here, Melania token is owned by MKT World, a company linked to Melania Trump's business address at Trump International Golf Club. It says here the market impact. The Trump token's market cap plummeted by 5 billion within 40 minutes of the Melania token launch, dropping 38% from 74 billion to 45 billion as of 9 a.m. UTC on the 20th of January. Trump was trading at $57 and it's down 3.3% in 24 hours according to CoinMarketCap. So this was yesterday's data, guys. But go check that out. Go subscribe to cryptosavingexpert.com and you will have this in your inbox every Tuesday at 11 a.m. But Jeff, let's pull it over to Amplify. Let me just share this tab, and perhaps we can go into a bit more detail here. So we've already understood your journey into Web3. What was your journey into founding Amplify? What were some of the causes that you thought need addressing in the space? Yeah,
so very, very specific. It was looking at how we could combat the failings of centralized money markets like Celsius, BlockFi, Voyager, right? So they were immensely popular, huge TVL, huge user adoption numbers, but 4 out of the top 10, ranked by TVL and user numbers went bankrupt, and they took, over $10 billion down with it. And the reason for that was pure human greed, right? Same with the financial crash of 2008, deregulation, people making bad decisions. A lot of people in UST with the anchor pools, and also in Luna, that's where a lot of the issues stemmed from. And so, I know people who were directly involved in that. I know people who actually lost their life savings, in there. Now, you might argue it's silly to put your life savings in there, but, people put trust in certain entities. So, overall, it was just a horrible experience. I saw the fallout of that. And, having been in DeFi, since 2017 and a firm believer in DeFi, I thought, look, surely there's a better way to do this. And DeFi has its risks, but it offers much better way to earn wealth. Number one, it offers better returns. Number two, you have custody over your assets. The only problem is that it's very difficult to access for the average person. So ultimately, what we wanted to do is to simplify the access to DeFi. When you go onto something like Celsius or Nexo, Nexo obviously is still around. You sign up with an email and password, you deposit your Bitcoin or your assets, and you earn. And it's that simple. You don't have to worry about anything else. In DeFi, you have to decide, well, what chain do you want? There's 30 major blockchains. There's hundreds of chains, but there's 30 major blockchains. And so, okay, if you can decide that, there's hundreds of protocols, over 10,000 liquidity pools, 80 plus bridges, over 100 different wallet providers. Wow. And then if you can get your head around that, you decide, okay, well, what's single versus dual-sided liquidity, liquid staking versus restaking, wrapped versus synthetic assets, collateralization ratios, price impact, impermanent loss. Like, it just goes on and on. Like, you need to have either be working in the industry for years, or you need some sort of financial degree to basically try and understand it. And so the average person is never going to get into DeFi with that sort of level of complexity. No. And so we use AI to basically abstract away a lot of those complexities and make it easier for people to access DeFi.
Brilliant. And I've got to pull up this term, AI-Fi. It is new to me. When did AI-Fi first come onto your radar? And how does it fit in with what you guys are building?
Yeah, so AI-Fi has now actually been changed to DeFi. So everyone was pushing AI-Fi for ages, and then one thought leader or one KOL came along one day and said DeFi, which when it's written down looks great. Saying it doesn't sound so good. No. So we've been building since probably early 24, with no narrative in mind. We're just building because we believe that this is the better way to do things. And now AI-Fi sort of came around late 24, maybe mid 24, late 24. It wasn't really well known at all. And then all of a sudden, DeFi comes on the scene, which is the same thing, and just explodes. And so we're like, okay, we were going to look to launch a little bit later, but actually our open beta is going live soon. So let's launch sooner rather than later, and work with the market and work with the narrative.
Brilliant. And Jeff, tell me a bit more about your team and the depth of your team and the other members and their experience and their specialities there as well.
Yeah, so there's probably a team of, I'd say, 10 of us, at least sort of full time, and then we've got other people beyond that who work sort of part time as well. So I'll just take you through the senior members. I guess it was myself, founder. Obviously, I spoke about my background. Our chief marketing officer is a guy called Wayne Sim. He is the ex-head of performance marketing or global performance marketing for OKX and for Bybit. So this guy is specifically similar background to myself, data-driven marketing, has used those sorts of skills to drive users into OKX and Bybit. That was his job. So he's come on board with us to help us mimic or emulate some of those strategies to help drive those same users, because we're not looking to really drive DeFi users specifically into DeFi because they're already there. We're looking to take your sort of centralized exchange users, your Binance users, your Coinbase users, and bring them into DeFi by using a similar sort of user journey that they're used to with a sort of Web 2.5 user experience. So he's with us on that side of things. Then we've got our head of AI. He's ex-Singularity Labs. So Singularity Net, as everyone remembers, is probably the first AI project. So he was hired by Ben Gotzel as well, who was the founder of Singularity Net. So he brings with him a wealth of knowledge. He's also done a PhD in deep learning, for example, and he helped build out the machine learning market making arm of Singularity Labs as well, and help with their incubation arm. So great guy. Chief Community Officer, 17 years experience as head of community and ex-head of community at Zeely. So brings with him a wealth of knowledge there. Yeah, really, really good. So
I know a lot of our users use Zeely. We even use Zeely for our campaigns as well. And brilliant.
Yeah. So he's actually based here in Manchester as well. Funny enough, which is great. Our CTO based in Manchester as well, 10 years experience in crypto, building products initially, but now a Web3 architect. Has built DeFi, GameFi, Metaverse, the whole load. So really, really experienced in that regard. And then we also have our chief experience officer, a guy called Cody, who's a 3X founder, 2X exits. He's built out this UI that you see for the simplicity, ease of use, accessibility. And he was previously the chief experience officer for Layer 1X, which is an interoperability network similar to Layer 0, Polkadot, that sort of stuff. So.
Brilliant, absolutely stacked team, and like you say, you've got you kind of dominate the northern scene in the UK. You've got a lot of your team up in Manchester, and likewise in the audience here, I can see a lot of the members are in the surrounding areas. And if you want that opportunity to meet with the Amplifi team, definitely head to the Solana Super Teams meetups every Friday, guys. But let's talk about why people would use Amplifi and what are some of the benefits that they can bring to users.
Yeah, so for those who I sort of already told you about, like, the ease of use that centralized platforms offer, right? Email, password, login, deposit Bitcoin, earn. Doesn't matter what chain, doesn't matter. You pay gas, you just deposit and you earn. The risk, though, is that they're mismanaging your funds, and ultimately, if they screw up, they just press pause on the withdrawal buttons and you can't take your money out and you have to go through a whole long process. Problem with DeFi, for those who know DeFi, is, let's say we take stable coins and you want to go into one protocol like Aave. You have to choose what chain you want to deposit on. You have to choose what asset. So you might deposit USDC on Arbitrum, but those APYs fluctuate. They're never constant. They change every block. So it could be 10%, and then the next week it could be 5%. In order for you to move your assets from Arbitrum to Optimism, let's say, you have to unstake, you have to swap it, and then you have to bridge it, and then you have to restake it again. So there's a process of, that's just going from one chain to another on the same protocol with the same asset. Imagine going through a different protocol like Compound or Curve, or other chains outside the EVM ecosystem. So it's a very manual process trying to constantly chase APYs. And what we do is we basically automate that entire process. So a user comes in, they can deposit any token on any of the chains that we support. It doesn't matter. Our AI model will take that, we'll auto swap it for a variant if it needs to, and then we'll distribute it across various chains and protocols. So it might take 20% of your assets, swap it to USDC, put it in Aave on Arbitrum. It might take 30% of your assets, swap it to DAI on Optimism, put it on a different protocol like Compound, for example. And so you don't have to worry about it. It's automatically going to do all of that for you. And like I said, the APYs fluctuate. So what it does is it auto rebalances for the user automatically based on available APYs, based on liquidity pool depth, volumes, historical performance, and future performance, which is also the AI element, right? Look at historical performance to try and predict future performance. And so that's basically the way it works. So basically the user's experience is much like what they do with a centralized exchange or a centralized platform, is deposit their assets and earn auto compounded interest every 24 hours. No need to pay gas, no need to make optimizations, no need to do anything, but ultimately still retain control of their assets. If Amplifi fails, you can take your money back out, no questions asked, and there's no lockup periods either. So it's basically taking that model, it's really popular, and putting it into DeFi with the security element around it.
Brilliant. And you mentioned earlier that you founded Amplifi roughly about a year ago, started building on it there. You obviously saw the potential of AI before a lot of others did. And what are some of the AI capabilities of your protocol?
Yeah. So number one, like I said, the distribution of the assets based on current APYs, liquidity pool depths, historical performance, and future performance. I think it's important, that the AI looks at anomalies on chain as well. So it monitors for those sorts of issues. What I mean by that is just one of two things. Number one, if we take stable coins again, and there's a depegging event, it can automatically auto swap. So front load the exit liquidity from a pool, auto swap it into a different variant, and then restake it for the user so that there's nothing lost, right? The way that we look at this is, if you look at UST, for example, which use the anchor pools, you'd see that obviously that UST collapsed off the back of Luna. The anchor pools were behaving in an abnormal way under the surface, right? Using the on-chain data, it was very, very weird how it historically performed versus how it was performing, right? If you expect X amount of inflows and outflows, that looks stable. But if you start seeing a lot of liquidity being withdrawn, then there's anomalies there, and that indicates that there's something going wrong. And so the AI will be able to identify that, front load the liquidity again, even if users are asleep, pull the assets out and auto swap it. So the AI system would be able to detect that and would have been able to prevent users that were using Amplifi, for example, from losing their assets, because it's better safe than sorry. It's you think that the AI is like a risk management engine as much as it is like a wealth building engine, right? So it's not about maximum APYs. We can build strategies around that. It's about higher APYs than what you'd be able to get yourself, but distributed risk. And so that's the stablecoin side, but we're really focused on Bitcoin now at the moment as well. Massive opportunity, which we can talk about a little bit more. But same thing applies there. It's a very complex ecosystem, and the AI takes that and simplifies the sort of earning potential within the BTC Fi ecosystem, as we call it.
Amazing. And we've already actually got in the chat, Crypto Bro is asking when app. So we've got the roadmap up in front of us. You've got some big events and ready to drop some alpha on the audience here. But when is the app launching? And also, when TGE?
Yes, great questions. So we're in closed beta at the moment. We're going into open beta at the end of this month. So you're probably looking at 10 days max, which is great news, right? So open beta is going to be live to everyone. We're going to be live on Arbitrum and Mode. So Mode Network is an L2 that we're actually sort of backed by. We've been a part of their AI accelerator program. It's an L2 that's primarily focused on deep AI and AI agents. So for anyone who's in the AI agent space, I highly recommend checking them out. They're a very niche L2, which is great for L2s because you're never going to compete with Base, Arbitrum, or Optimism. That's just not going to happen. So you need to have a niche gaming or deep AI or whatever it is. So really, really good for the sort of deep AI sort of element. So we're launching those two initially, and then we're bringing in Base probably in February as well. And so that will go open to the public. Obviously, we'll have an airdrop campaign around that so people can farm points, which is great. So that'll be open at the end of the month, as I said. TGE will be the end of February, so it's pretty quick after the airdrop campaign goes live. So we're looking at probably 27th, 28th of Feb. Exact dates have yet to be decided. But like I said, we're looking to push out sooner rather than later to take advantage of this current narrative.
Amazing. And will there be private sale available?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, absolutely. So we're closing the current round at the end of this month, maybe the start of February. So we're working mostly with community syndicates. So VCs are great, but ultimately VCs don't care about the product; they care about profit. And everyone wants to make profit. Don't get me wrong; everyone wants to make money. But we find that syndicates and communities generally want to get involved with the product, provide good feedback, tend to hold a bit longer. Obviously, can make more money that way. But we're working with a lot of syndicates or communities like yourselves, like VVV, etc. So yeah, that's what we're sort of looking at. But yeah, it is available.
Awesome. So, it's going to be a busy few months for you. Like you say, app is launching in roughly 10 days. Guys, if you're looking for, more updates regarding this, the best place is to ask me directly in the Discord. I'll also invite Jeff into the Discord as well, so that we can have, any questions can be answered there. And then we can also put you towards their communities as well. Jeff, where is the best place for people wanting to learn a bit more about Amplifi and join your communities?
Yeah, so we've got X. Obviously, there you go, Amplifi_FI. So it's under with an I, Amplifi with an I. From there, you can see our hub.xyz link. That brings us to all the channels. Discord is probably the best place. We have, obviously, our community is a lot more active there. There's a lot more channels. There's a lot more information. So it's better to join the Discord if you can. And go from there.
Brilliant. And like I said, guys, if you have any follow-up questions after today's stream, please ping them to me in the Discord, and I'll head to Jeff and get those answered for you as well. I'm super excited. Everything's happening super quick. You guys have been building this for a year. It's good to see your hard work come to fruition. And I'm excited for the app, but I'm also super excited for the token, guys. So get about it, get in the community. If you want to join us and you're not already a CSC Plus member as well, let me just show you how you can join CSC Plus. So you come over to cryptosavingexpert.com/CSC-plus. And right here, you can see if I go all the way down, we've got, if you join monthly plan, it says £100 a month for Community Plus, but we currently have a discount code NY80 where you can join our Discord, guys. And premium is for one-to-one tuition. We have lots of extra bonuses there, but it'd be good to see you all in the Discord. And we're going to be keeping up to date with Amplifi. So any new announcements, any new news, I will be posting in the Discord. And Jeff, I'd love to have you back on another stream, perhaps around the app launch, or perhaps I know you're going to be super busy over this next few months, but I would love your time when the app goes live, and then also in the run up to TGE, and also with the airdrop and private sale potential there. So guys, make sure to go give them a follow on Twitter, join our Discord, join the Amplifi Discord. You're going to hear more from myself and Jeff. Thank you so much for your time today. Really, really cool app, and I can see from the comments here, a lot of people are really, really impressed. So we've got Sammy T saying sounds really cool. Gannikus saying nice project. Justin, also an OG member here, saying wicked, and he's planning the next phase of the market. So we got Hugo here is asking, can CSE members join the private sale? Hugo, more will be announced in the upcoming days. Keep an eye on Amplifi. Like I say, this is very high up on my agenda. These guys have been, we went through the team. We've got an absolute stacked team, UK based, which is good to see. And they turn up to events. They're good at networking. They know a lot of people in the space. Jeff is an OG in the space. He's been here for 3 cycles. So I've got a lot of confidence here, guys. Go give them a follow. Come join the CSE Plus Discord. Jeff, thank you so much for your time today. I will end it here. and look forward to having you back on the stream.
Thank you so much, guys. Been an absolute pleasure. Speak soon.
Woo! Like and subscribe, guys. Take care. Bye.